talking. Three black girls talking.
2, 3. Hey y'all, I'm Margot Evans.
And I'm Rochelle Truby.
And this is your girl, Edwanda White, and we are Three Black Girls Talking. My girl, Rochelle Truby, she was my college roommate. Rochelle introduced me to Margot, which is my girl, like my little sister, who is a comedian. And we created this song, we created this show called Three Black Girls Talking. So we're hoping that you will continue to subscribe and share it with a friend. If you haven't, go ahead and do that. And we thank you for following us. Today, we're going to talk about social media. Okay, this is how we recreated our show by, going on YouTube and playing it on Instagram and different things. And it's just getting out there. People are loving it. On one of the platforms, we've getting, a lot of views, and some maybe not as many views. It depends on the platform. So today, we're going to say, I'm going to start with Margot. Margot, there's a lot of parents out there that are concerned about this social media craze. Is it a good thing for their kids? Is it a bad thing? What do you think about social media, the sites and what's going on there?
I think for younger kids, I don't think that it's a great tool to have them on. I know that TikTok had like an age limit because TikTok used to be like for kids, and kids are mean. The kids are bullies. They mess with each other on these social medias. We didn't have that back in the day. We didn't have social. We actually had to see the person at school or on the playground or whatever. And if you had something against them, y'all had that conversation there. But now, that conversation follows you home on social media. If they got you at school, then they log on to TikTok or Instagram, and then they bully you on there, and then they bully you on your text, and they bully, and that's hard for kids. That's really hard. And that you have to have a strong, I think, you have to have a strong parents, somebody that sit and talk to their children and tell them, this is, whatever they're talking about, don't let sticks and stones may break your bones and whatever. And, build that.
Right. It's way worse now. But Margot, okay, you have a good point about not being good for the kids. How old or, what is too young to be texting or having a cell phone or even be on a social media, TikTok or having an account? Like what's a good age, do you think?
I think 13 and up.
Oh, 13, okay.
I think junior high school and then up, the kids, because I would definitely, if I had a child, I would definitely want them to have a cell phone. In these schools and stuff that's happening and things, we see school shootings and stuff. We haven't seen any in a while. Well, the school hasn't been in, but
right. Not in California. Other states they have, but in our state, no. All of them are doing distance learning.
Yeah, but I would want my child to have a phone just for that emergency situation. If something happens at the school and they need to call me, I want them to have that. But 13 and up, I think that having conversations with your kids and letting them know, the dangers of social media, the texting, the Instagram, and then bullies and all that stuff, then I think it will be okay. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Rochelle?
Okay. Well, to answer the first question, I really don't think that kids should be on social media. It causes too many problems. Kids are, like you said, kids are mean, and things that happen on social media, it goes into the schools. There have been fights, they'll videotape fights, and it just gets really messy. Kids have killed themselves over social media because they've been depressed. People been joking with them. Maybe a guy and their girlfriend might break up, and then people put it on social media and stuff, and then people get depressed. So honestly, I would really wish that kids didn't have access to social media. It's just that they see and they learn so much on the social media that I really don't agree with. I've looked at some of my son's posts on social media that from other people and from himself too, so he's not exempt. And I'm like, oh my God, like where do you guys get all this stuff from? Like, I mean, man, it's like, it's just out of control. Really, it's just out of control. Maybe when they get into high school when they're a little bit older, maybe 16, 17, maybe even
Okay.
18, maybe even
Oh,
18,
that's
where they can,
okay.
yeah, but 16 or 17 when they're a little bit older and mature, because I think that starting from 6th grade, probably to about, I would say 10th grade, is that age group right there where kids are bullying kids, they're mean to them and stuff. I think that once kids get into the 11th and 12th grade, they start to mellow out. I see it happen with my kids, like my oldest son, that's 6th, 7th, and 8th, 9th grade, he kind of was, not going the way that I wanted to. But then 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, he started to melt. They start to go into adulthood almost. I mean, they're not quite adults yet, but you see that change in them once they get into the high school years. People don't tease and are not so mean as much in high school that they are in middle school. Middle school is a very tough year for kids. Now, should a kid have a cell phone? I think 6th grade, they should get a cell phone when they get into middle school, because to Margot's point about things that happen, with the school shootings and stuff. And then another thing too is, I mean, we don't, once your kid gets 11, 12, 13 years old, they're by themselves. To me, a kid doesn't need a cell phone at 6 years old. Why? They should be with an adult. A 6-year-old should not be at home by them. I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying if don't get me wrong, if a family does have to have a latchkey kid at 6 years old, I mean, I understand, but for most part, a 5, 6, 7-year-old is usually with their parent or an adult. They're either at
You would hope
childcare.
so, yeah.
Yeah, they're either at childcare or they're at the after school program, or they're home with their parents or whatever. So to me, a 6-year-old doesn't need a cell phone. But once they start transitioning into the teenage year, 12, 13, 14 years old, you're not going to be with your kid all the time. They're going to their friend's house, they're walking to the park, they're hanging out after school, and things like that. They don't really need that. 13-year-old, 14-year-old doesn't need a babysitter, basically, so it's a little bit more freedom at 14, 15, and 16 versus 6, 7, 8 years old. So my thing is that, I think that a good age to get a kid a phone is 11 and 12 years old once they hit middle school, because, if they have after school practice, you need to be able to contact them. They need to be able to contact you. If something happens on campus or anything, they can call their parent or whatever. But the thing about it is, that's when it comes with the social media, because most of these phones are smartphones unless you block it. And then these kids they know so much, honey, they don't know how to unblock stuff,
Right. I agree with a lot of things that you said, except for that I would make the age younger. Like, I don't like that kids have access to social media accounts like Snapchat or WhatsApp or things like that, or but I think that they should have a cell phone as soon as they're able to read. If a child reads well, I think in this age, the reality is that everything's online, everything's pushing a button or whatever. If there's an emergency, they need to know how to slide over there to that iPad, get on that phone, dial the thing in an emergency. And I think that all kids, by the time they're able to read, 2nd grade, you're reading pretty well. If you're in a decent school, you speak well, you're articulate, you understand how to formulate an opinion. Then a simple cell phone, not no top of the line iPhone or nothing where you doing all that, but the basic thing to call and have a way to text if you need to get information somewhere or whatever. Now, having a social media account, like, I don't see where a 7-year-old needs a Instagram account for. What are you even on there for? What you taking pictures of? Like, why are you even on here? You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be like, oh, this for the gram. You're like, come on, you ain't even had no life yet to
Right.
be on there. Now, can you show them and give them access to yours so that they can say hello to their friends while you're watching them? Sure, that's fine. Or let them know how it works or operates. I wouldn't do that till maybe later middle school, because in middle school, kids can get left out of the loop and get teased and everything for not having it because their friends all have it. I'm not saying do it because of that, but I'm just saying if all of their friends have it and they don't have it, then they're locked or blocked out of a particular communication in their own life, which is affecting their social development. This is the way the kids deal with stuff. This is the way they hit in the DMs and they talk and they have group chats and they have all that stuff. So in middle and high school, this is what they're doing. It's a dangerous thing if you don't monitor your child's social media. You should have their passwords if they have an account. Of course, they're going to sneak and put their own account or whatever that you don't know about. But that's, we all going to do that. If we had it, we would did it too. You know what I'm saying? But the one that we're supposed to know about, we should have their passwords. We maybe would never use them, but if we have some type of parental guidance with regards to what we see on the page, also know who their friends are. We're talking about teenagers now. After they get older, then whatever. Social media is a good thing for people who have businesses. It's a good way to keep in touch with all of your friends and family. Older people, they like Facebook. Younger people, 30 and under, they like Instagram. I really love Instagram, even though I'm not 30 and under, but I enjoy Instagram probably better than anything, really. I watch YouTube videos. I really like Twitter. Haven't figured Twitter out yet, but I like Twitter, reading it, not so much being active on it. It's kind of different for me, but I like having those options of different types of people, different types of groups. Now, I'm going to go back to Margot on this one. What are your final words on how you feel that social media takes up our time? And I want how you feel about, do you think that young girls are feeling a lot more pressure to be more sexual and, set thirst traps and stuff on, like for Instagram, to get attention? And do you think that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just about the Instagram and young women, for sure. I think that, they have the Instagram models and all this different stuff going on, and they have a lot of filters on a lot of these.
Okay. Right.
And so that's hard for a younger girl who does not know yet about these filters and angles and all this other stuff to try to live up to. So now they want to, have the big boobs and all the hair and showing their butt and doing all this other stuff. And if they don't know what they're doing or have that asset, then, they feel like less than, and that's sad. And I wish that, I hope that our parents or their parents are talking to them and explaining to them, like, look, no, let me show you with this filter. Let me show you this filter that she's using right here. So you can see that
right.
It's trickery. It's trickery.
But is it more pressure for the young women or just people, period? Like, how some young guys, they fake their lifestyle, like they'll take pictures in front of a Lamborghini or something to try to make it seem like they have it going on. Is it equal in terms of fronting or whatever to make yourself look better or appear like you're more successful? Is it equal or is it more pressure on women?
I think it is. I think I would say that it is more pressure on women, but there is that whole other realm of it where people act like they have a car, a jet, Bow Wow.
Right. Ain't no future in the front.
They fronting and they're creating this life, and that's just social media. Period. It's just people create their best life on social media. So their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their gifts, their this, their clothes, their shoes, and then when everything shuts down and you go to that person's house, they probably don't have nothing. None
of that.
They have a very sad life. Very sad.
Me, I put the real stuff that's on there, like, oh, I did a show, or oh, hey, this and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm married, and you have to really search for pictures of me and my husband, because I'm not me and my boo ate a sandwich today and all that. Them people be doing, you know what I'm saying? If your relationship is good, you ain't gotta be, me and my boo ate some oranges and oh, today me and Bay is doing this and that with the matching t-shirts or whatever. And then 5 minutes later, you broken up because
Yes.
you're trying to create.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like if you really married, you see the person every day. You ain't gotta be like, oh, this is my bae, and we ate some peanut butter today, and me and bae at the so and so. We're in the middle of the pandemic. Where are you going? You're not in
Yeah.
Paris. You ain't
Right.
you ain't out in the Swiss Alps or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, okay, it's our anniversary. Hey, this is me and bae. Happy anniversary to us, or oh, baby, it's your birthday or something like that.
Yeah.
But like I say, I pretty much put everything, you know, hey, this is my girl Margot. We, you know, I miss comedy or something, you know. And then people like it or lump it. But
Right.
some people you already know they fronting. They be fronting so
I
bad.
don't have time for fakery, you know. I mean, as you get older, you learn that, but there are a lot of people, even grown people, that you know feel the need to do that, and I don't understand why, but they do. So I think it's just you know both men and women just being extra when it comes to showing their lives.
Rochelle, I'm gonna go to you with a different question or a different angle. Okay, me and Margot, we're comedians, so we have to be on social media. You know what I mean, to keep ourselves relevant, to show funny content, or you know, just our businesses and stuff. Which Margot has an amazing pastrami business that she's you know promoting with her
Yeah.
stuff and taking her orders. Okay, so we need that, you know, to get more access to more people. Now, my question to you, Margot, you work in corporate, you know, and stuff, and you have a social media for, you know, for family and stuff like that. What changes or rules should they make to modify social media so that people can't really be on their front and stuff? Like, what should they do? All of a sudden say you can't use filters? If they did that, half of them Instagram models will be shut down. You feel see what they really looking like.
Right.
But Rochelle, what should they change or what would you change as a mother to protect your children or just so that it's more normal and it's not as fake?
Well, I have they do a good job of throwing people in jail sometimes because some people have gone in Facebook jail when they say certain things. I think it's more or less where, you know how they have that click on that content if you don't agree, you know, like if it's offensive or something like that.
Oh yeah, you can report
yeah,
it.
you can report. I think it's other people telling on other people more or less. But so I think that because you know Facebook really does have an age limit. You have to be, I think, 18 years old to join Facebook. And so I remember when Facebook first came out, a lot of the kids were putting fake ages on there. So maybe they might have to, I don't know, I don't know how secure the information is, like maybe put a driver's license or I don't know what it is. But first of all, young kids shouldn't be on, you know, on Facebook. Maybe they should make a kid Facebook or something like that. But I don't, it's kind of hard to police that in that way where, you know, certain things can't be done because people can do, I mean, freedom of speech and stuff like that. But I know that if you do share some content that like maybe too political or I've seen people say, oh, I was in Facebook jail because I was talking too much about politics, or maybe they said the wrong thing or something. Certain content that they put on there that they will throw them in Facebook jail where they knock them. You can't be on there. I don't know what the period of time that you can't be on there because I've never gone on Facebook jail, but it is a certain period of time that they can't be on. So, I mean, if they can just stick to that structure, because really, I mean, people have freedom of speech. They should be able to, if they want to live this fantasy life and put it all out there on Facebook, then I mean, and that's their takeaway for them. Like maybe that's something that they use in order to be happy. I mean, you should be able to do that and stuff like that. Me, I don't fake things either. Like, you know, say, oh, I have a brand new car or a nice house. And, you know, to me, it's not that serious. I just keep things real, but some people feel happy by doing that if they feel like there's a lot of
I mean, you can tell it's real obvious, you know what I mean?
Right. And they're,
where people, you know what I'm saying? Like happy people don't have to say every 5 minutes they happy. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Married people or people who have a significant other don't have to every 5 minutes mention their significant other unless they're maybe, insecure about it. My whole thing, I love social media because it helps me to talk to a lot of people at once because I don't have a whole lot of time to be break down with, calls each one. That would be so time consuming to talk to every one of my friends on the phone. I don't have that much time in a day to do that. I can text a whole bunch of people, not even a forward, but I can text people while I'm working. I can, they can see me on social media to know that I'm alive, first of all, you know what I mean?
Right.
To say, hey, today I posted this, whatever. Okay, yeah, she posted, she's good. She's doing whatever. She's doing a show. She's doing a video. She's, whatever. And they can talk to me and say, hey, and I could talk to them immediately. So I love that aspect of it. I don't like the fact that a 12-year-old girl can be on the same account as like some 45-year-old man. You know what I mean? Because now he has access to this girl, and or the same thing, a 12-year-old boy and an older woman or whatever the case may be. I just I don't mind them being on there, but if there's adult content or different things, because it's kind of risque out there, they be putting some everything. And so if kids are on there, then we have to monitor what we're doing because of the kids. But then if the kids are not on there, then people who are kind of like crazy or who are not having the nicest intentions or don't have access to our young people, to our kids and our daughters and our sons to be talking to them in no DM, you know what I mean? Somebody could see a 13-year-old girl and be like, so how you doing, sweetie, or whatever. Right. And that 45, 50, 60, 80-year-old man should not be able to talk to my 13-year-old daughter. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I have a problem with on any of it. Now, we're going to go like real quick, one line. And basically, social media is good. It just needs to be monitored. And if you have children, be responsible and take initiative and pay attention to what your kids are doing. Now, you yourself, you're an adult. So what you do, just be responsible. Don't be messy on there. Don't be trying to ruin lives and, telling people business and stuff. And people get on there and do that, okay? They get on there and try to destroy lives and talk about people and stuff like that. If you don't like social media, if you think it's messy, then what? Don't go on there.
Don't go on there. Mm-hmm.
Period. Okay. Yeah. So that's my point. You have the choice to be on social media, to not be on social media. It is time consuming and you could get caught up in some stuff, but that is your choice as an adult. Okay. So with Margot, we're just going to say our final goodbyes on this. Enjoy your social media, especially YouTube and our show, Three Black Girls Talking, of course. But those are things that you can choose to click on and click off. You don't have to leave it on all day. Just watch us and then click off. No. So anyway, go ahead, Margot, and just say something good, something bad, one little word or line about social media and how you feel, and then we're going to go.
Okay, I just want to say that, it's monitoring. When it comes to the kids, it is about monitoring. It is the day or how kids are talking to each other anyway right now. Just being mindful and monitoring their situation. And then as adults, also being mindful of what we put, the content that we put out there, knowing that is out in the universe forever for whoever to see. So, if you faking the front and then faking the funk and then you try to, come back later on, we can see that. Okay. So have fun, but be truthful to yourself. So that's all I gotta say. Shelly.
I would say the same thing as if you have kids that are on social media, make sure that you are monitoring their account, have you as a friend so you can check and also realize that kids do have dummy accounts that they build too, and other extra accounts. But Facebook, you don't have to worry about it because I already told Mom only old heads go on Facebook. So
yeah,
you will have to worry.
Has a Facebook, they just don't be on there.
So it's the Instagram that really, Instagram, and I know these Twitter and these kids. Just so you parents know, kids do have they might have their other Instagram that you have, but they got another Instagram
They
that
got
just
another one for
their
their
friends have for their friends, and that's the one that they up here doing some crazy stuff on. So just be mindful of that. So make sure you are checking their phone and stuff. I know a lot of people don't like to, you know, do all that, but in order for us to keep these kids on the right track, we gotta monitor them.
Yeah, you kind of do. All right, so you heard it here on Three Black Girls Talking. There are benefits to having social media, to get yourself out there, to keep in contact, and to do business, and maybe even receive jobs and things like that. So we're glad that social media is getting the word out there, but also be responsible and monitor your kids. So we are Three Black Girls Talking, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Three black girls talking. Three black girls talking.